Hello there everybody, we are outside on the C100 and today we are going to make a video on how to wheelie a bike, a mountain bike, any bike, a road bike, a bike with four wheels, I don't know, but listen, I'm gonna tell you how to wheelie it right now. If you're trying to learn how to wheelie, I really do recommend you use a helmet at all times. Maybe some knee pads, shoulder pads, elbow pads, I don't know. Put as many pads as you can on yourself because you will get hurt, especially if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna fall. And listen, it's better to not get hurt than to get hurt. So wear your helmet. No one cares that you're wearing a helmet. It's better to be safe than sorry. Kids are out here getting hit with cars every single day because they are clueless on these bikes. The number one most important thing while wheeling, or for honestly any kind of biking in any scenario, is your brakes. You see, my brakes are good. If you hit them, they stop, but your brakes, you have to have good brakes. If you don't have good brakes, you're going to go back and you're going to land on your butt, okay? And we don't want that, because listen, if you're learning how to wheelie, if you're a beginner, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall once, you're gonna fall twice. It's okay, you just got to get back up and keep trying. But if you don't have good brakes, if your brakes aren't somewhat good, if you don't have brakes that work, please don't try to wheelie. You're gonna fall, you're gonna land on your butt, you're gonna break your back. It's not gonna be a good time. So when you're trying to learn how to wheelie, you got to go through a few steps, and step number one is making sure that your bike is in wheelie condition, because if your bike is not in wheelie condition, then you definitely don't want to wheelie it, because if your bike can't keep you safe and sound, look at this duck right here, oh my goodness, but listen, if your bike can't keep you safe while trying to do a wheelie, then it's probably not the time to do a wheelie. So when it's time for you to do a wheelie, you want to check things like your front and back wheel. You want to make sure that they're straight and that they're not rubbing the frame. You see back there, my wheel's a little bent, but you want to make sure your wheel's straight, your wheels are good. You want to check your tire pressure. If your air's too low, the wheels are going to be really, like, you're not going to be able to pick them up. You want to have good air in your tires so that you can be able to do that wheelie. All right guys, so after you make sure that like things like your brakes are working, your wheels are tight, they have air in them, everything, you got to look at something that's a little more important: your seat. When I first started wheeling, people told me to put my seat down, because I don't even know why. So listen, I never once put my seat down. Here's my seat still not down. It's a lot easier to wheelie with your seat up. No one can deny that. If you want to put your seat up, put your seat up. If you want to put your seat down, put your seat down. Do a wheelie, see how it feels best. Listen, this is how I like to ride. A good thing is to keep the seat at your waist, so the seat is almost at my waist level, and that's it. That's where it should be. So always adjust your seat to where you want the seat to be. Also, like my grip, I moved my grip down here, down the bar a little bit when I first started, just because I felt like it. A lot of people are like, dude, why do you have it like that? Well, listen, dude, because I wanted it to be there, and I have a lot more control than they do. So listen, trust me, if you want to put your grip here, you can do it. If you have an SE bike, it's a little different, but on a collective, on a lot of other bikes, move the grip, trust. Also, you always need to keep in mind when wheeling that if your finger is not on the brake, there's gonna be nothing to stop you from going back. So it's just like, you can't be upset if you fall and your finger wasn't on the brake. Always, your finger has to be on the brake. Get used to picking up the wheel with your finger on the brake, because if you start picking up the wheelie just like this, you can do it a lot easier. It's a lot easier than doing it with your finger on the brake. But then you're gonna have to do it with your finger on the brake. So it's just like you can skip a step if you just learn how to pick up the bike with your finger on the brake. It's also gonna save you a lot of times falling on your butt. I've fallen on my butt plenty of times. I've gotten stitches, I've gotten a lot of scrapes, a lot of blood, a lot of stuff from the bike. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You just have to be precautious and avoid it. Always wear the helmet. But now step 3 is actually how to wheelie and how to get the bike in the air. All right guys, so step 2 to learning how to wheelie is you have to understand what you're trying to do here. You have to understand the wheelie so that you can do it. You need to really understand what you're about to do. So listen, what happens is when your pedal is in this position and you pull down and you pull up at the same time, the force from you pulling the bike from the bars up and the force from your foot pushing down at the same time is what will lift the bike up, right? But then your pedals, you continuing to pedal is what will continue to keep your wheelie going. So you need to continue to pedal. You can't just pedal hard once, the wheel lifts up, and then that's it. You're not just gonna wheelie it. You have to continue to pedal for the wheelie to continue going. If you pedal too hard and go past your balance point, you're going back and you're going to fall. The only thing that'll keep you from falling is your brake. So the two things that you need to understand is that if you stop pedaling, you're going to stop wheeling. And if you don't have good brake control to keep you from going backwards and falling on your butt, well, you're gonna stop wheeling also. So listen, you need to practice your brake control. Always when you're riding your bike, not even just trying to wheelie, just always when you're riding your bike, use one finger, always have one finger on the brake so you can get used to it, and just tap it. Just use your brake. Just when you're riding, just use your brake lightly. Just get used to the brake. Understand at which point the brake actually closes, and so you'll understand the brake. You have to become one with the bike, guys. That's the goal. Become one with the bike. So over time you'll get it, but just always one finger on the brake. Never try to wheelie without your finger on the brake. You're just wasting your time if you do that. All right, guys, so basically step 3, learning how to wheelie, actually making the wheelie happen. You're not going to be able to pick the bike up right away because you're not going to be able to time the pedal with the pull up, and you're not going to have the strength with the pull up to pull it up, and you're not going to get the pedal right. You're not going to be in the right gear. There's a lot of things that are not going to go right and are going to go against you. So it takes practice, it takes time. Always when you're learning how to wheelie, never be in a very, very high gear, because a very, very high gear means you need to pedal very hard. If you need to pedal very hard, you're just not going to have that kind of strength to get the wheel up and to keep the wheel up. You're just not. It's just not. So don't put your gear all the way down either, because then your pedal is just going to be super light. You're just going to pedal really, really fast, and then you're going to go nowhere. The wheelie is not gonna happen. So you got to be right in the middle. I like to be right in the middle. Right now I'm going to be right in the middle. I actually usually ride with my gear a little higher because I like to move a little faster, but for demonstration purposes we have it right in the middle. So when you wheelie, always, like I said, you want to make sure that your finger is on the brake. You never want to be in a road with cars like these because it is just hazardous, and it is terrible. So listen, always your finger on the brake. When you go to wheelie, you want to lean towards the bike, like almost if you were doing a push-up on your bars, you see? Like, not too much. You don't have to kiss your, but listen, you have to get a little close to the bike because you have to pull the bike up. A lot of the wheelie, or getting the wheelie started, is you actually pulling the bike up yourself. Yo, fuck off! What the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with you, idiot? So a lot of the wheelie is you actually pulling up the bike yourself. So listen, you go in like a push-up, and then your pedal, you have to time the pedal when it's right here, like I told you guys. So look, you pull it up, and then that's it, you're up. You see how instantly I went back there, but I didn't fall because of my brake. I hit my brake. I was able to hit my brake and not go back. So let me show you guys. All right, guys, once again, we're gonna come back. You go in, be ready to pull down at the pedal and pull the bike back at the same time. That's a big thing. You have to get everything done at the same time. So look at my pedal. When I put my right foot, my dominant foot down, I pull the bike up at the same time. You see, it's very windy right now, but because of my brake, I can control the bike and keep myself from going back. So the brake is everything. You want to become best friends with the brake. You want to have good brakes, because the brakes are really the only thing that'll keep you from falling back consistently. Another thing, people used to tell me not to worry about my knees. When I was learning how to wheelie, I realized that my knee movement would kind of help me control the wheelie. And when I would tell people, they would be like, no, don't worry about your knees, don't worry about your knees. Definitely worry about your knees. Knees is like, it gives you so much control over the bike, to where you can move the bike from your knees without having to move the bars. So it's like a cheat code, but brake, you see, I can let off my brake, but it's like your brake is all that you have. You need your brake. Believe in your brake. All right guys, so let me just give you another demonstration. Once again, you have to focus on the pedal. Let me show you guys that no matter what pedal you go for, you're gonna be able to wheelie the bike. See, there I did it with my left, but it's not really about the pedal. You just have to time everything perfectly. I recommend you go with your dominant foot. Some people say not to. You know, it's your choice. You kind of just have to ride the bike, feel the bike, see what's best for you, you know. But you see, I would have been all the way back. But let's take a second to appreciate that beautiful sticker kit. But all jokes aside, listen, let's get back to the wheeling. So listen guys, after you get a little more brake control and a little more control of the knee wiggle, you're able to do things a little bit differently, you know. See, my knee hit the bush there a little bit. Who put that bush there? I don't know. So for all you guys that are actually gonna learn how to wheelie, take it slow, take some deep breaths. Don't just start like because you're not gonna wheelie it, you understand? You're just not. So you gotta take it slow, you gotta be relaxed, nice and easy. Pick it up, use the brake, and there, boom, you're going, you're rolling. That's it, that easy. If you guys have any suggestions for any videos, anything you want to see more of, just let me know and I will get that done for you guys right away. Any video recommendations you guys have, anything that is just not a good idea that you guys probably shouldn't do, just let me know. Just comment it and I'll, like 2 to 3 business days, I'll get it done, post it on YouTube. That's it. And that's it for this video. So thank you for watching.